In this video, we'll show you how to use a tool called iManage OffSite when you're working remotely. iManage OffSite is a tool that will only work with iManage File Site or iManage Desk Site installed. Now, you may be an organization that's been using iManage technology for quite some time, and you're used to these tools, either file site or desk site. Offsite is an add-on tool that allows you to work offline when you're disconnected from the network. Now, if you have other tools like iManage Work Web, those have built-in offline capabilities. So not everyone will have desk site or file site, and even those who do may not have offsite because it needs to be installed separately. So if you decide you'd like to work from home using the offsite tool, you'd have to have that installed by your IT service desk before you go to use it. So if you do have offsite installed, let's show you some use cases when you're working from home or you're working elsewhere outside of the office. So in the screen that you're looking at right now, I have iManage Desk Site installed, and I work along with all my matters, and I'm working, checking in, checking out documents. Now, when I take this machine home, if my administrators allow it, I can connect over the internet. Now, it really depends on how your organization works. You may be required to be on a VPN before you can call up iManage. You may need to be in a Citrix setup, which is another kind of online tunneling technology. Or you may just be required to fill in your credentials and perhaps maybe even get a code on your mobile phone to do a multi-factor or two-factor authentication. So whichever way you would log in normally is how you do it when you're working from home to use offsite. Now, here in this environment, you're looking at me actively connected. Now, I can check out documents, I can check them back in, I can work on them. Now, using the offsite tool, if it's installed, you can work disconnected from the network. Where would this be beneficial? Well, you're at home and you've got, some bandwidth issues and you want to share bandwidth with the family. You've got some children perhaps that are doing some distance learning during these trying times that we're going through, and everybody needs to kind of share connections and work collaboratively, including with your family. So what I could do here is I could take some documents with me offline and continue to work on my laptop as I normally would. And I'm doing that while I'm disconnected. So what do I get when I'm using the offline tool? Well, you automatically get any checked out documents or your recent documents, also known as your document work list. So you don't have to do anything else if you have offsite installed to use your checked out your document work list or recent documents. So I can open these documents on, I'm disconnected. When I come back after online, after working in a disconnected mode, I can then have it synced back automatically. I can also choose to take entire folders or entire matters with me. Now, here are my options. With DeskSite, once it's installed, down in the system tray, you'll see a little icon here. And now you'll see this, it's in online mode. So when I go here, I can right click and say, choose my sync options. And what that does is lets me pick not only what I want to have for my recent or checked out documents, which is automatic, I can choose other things. Now, I do have to add shortcuts first. So if I click the add button, notice that I can't just search for matters. I already have to have a shortcut to it already on my shortcuts list called My Matters sometimes called My Workspaces. It really depends on how your organization has that set up. But there's another list called My Favorites, and that will work too. So as long as you have a shortcut on either one of those lists, that's fair game to be able to add that to your offsite list. Now, I happen to have something in my favorites, and I'm going to open up my favorites here and see that I have a couple of categories. One is for my document favorites, one of my workspace favorites. Now, I'm going to open up my workspace favorites. Now, I could choose that entire matter, which is my personal workspace. Now, maybe I don't want to do that because there's a lot of things in there. So I can get even more granular than that. So I can drill down inside that workspace or matter and choose just a particular folder. Now, in this case, I'm going to choose just the test documents folder and click include. And what will happen is when my machine knows what this list is, it will sync all the documents in the test documents folder. Now, I also have some options too. If I don't want to take everything, I can sync only documents that have been edited within a specific period of time, like 45 days or 30 days or something like that, or that are under a certain size, 10 megabytes, 50 megabytes, whatever I want it to be. Or I can just leave it, which is the standard, to say, it'll sync everything that it finds in there. And what it's doing is it's going to copy that. It's not checking the documents out, it's copying it to my local machine. Now, when I do that and I say, okay, it will have this little clockwise motion. You see it very quickly. I'll do it again. Sync now. It'll do it by itself every 5 minutes, and it will sync up everything that it finds in that folder. It will be saved to my local computer as a copy. Now, again, it doesn't have to be checked out. You can if you want to, but it doesn't have to be. Now, let's say for the sake of argument that I need to go offline. Either my connection is going to drop or I need to share some bandwidth for the family. So I've got everything I need on my machine from iManage. So let's go work offline. When I disconnect, you'll notice that I have my checked out documents list, which I don't have any. I have my recent documents list, which is that 40 or so documents that I've got. And then I would also have the extra ones that I've chosen to sync. Now, I didn't quite finish my sync, so kind of cheating here a little bit. But if I go back to online mode, I got to let it finish and it will show me everything that I have chosen to take. So got to give that another second or so. But let's see if I get this synced back up. So we want it to finish. We want to make sure that we've got everything synced that we need. And then let's see what happens when we go offline now. And there we go. It just took a second here in the environment that I'm working in, but we are now disconnected. And you can see while I'm disconnected, I'm only going to be able to open up and find the things that I chose to take with me offline. There's the workspace favorites category. There's my personal workspace. And you'll notice that I will maintain the matter structure. That workspace had several top level folders and it had several subfolders. So it will maintain the structure, but only in what I have chosen to take with me. So it will show the category it came from. It will show me the matter name, and it will only show me the folders and subfolders that I decide to take with me. Now, once I come back online and open that up, you'll see that I have many more folders in there, but I only chose to take these particular folders with me. So take as much content as you think you'll need when you're offline, make your changes, and when you come back and you connect again, when you come back in the office, you'll see that everything goes back to the way it was. Here's my workspace. It's got several more folders in it now because I'm reconnected to the system. And then once I come back, if there was anything that was needed to be synced, it would sync it back automatically. If I had taken folders from 3 different matters, all those documents that I worked on offline would automatically sync back. Now, keep in mind that because I don't have to check out documents when I'm offline, other people who are still connected to the backend system can edit those documents if they have permissions. So there may be a case where I come back and this icon is red. It will tell me that I've got a conflict with some of the documents. I was working offline, somebody was working online on those same documents. It's very simple. All you have to do is open up this Resolve Sync Conflicts box, and it will let you choose to save either as a brand new document for your offline version or save it as a new version of an existing document. So no problem there. Nobody will lose their work. But if there's no conflict, it will just put it exactly where it needs to be. So that's using the offline tool. If you have FileSite or DeskSite with OffSite installed, sometimes you may not, but if you happen to have this tool, it can be handy when you're disconnected.